Yeah. This is what T Nasty, and I got another dope video for y'all. Concert Handcuffed, famous YouTuber over a prank by Audit the Audit. And that famous YouTuber is IShowSpeed. I guess he got what do they call it? Swatted. I'm sorry, Swatted. Let's go ahead and check it out. Make sure you like and subscribe. And leave me some comments. Give me some damn comments.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers live streaming, swatting, and reasonable suspicion, and is brought to us by Law and Crime Network's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On August 8th, 2022, officers from the Cincinnati Police Department in Cincinnati, Ohio, responded to the home of YouTuber Darren IShowSpeed Watkins, who, as of the date of writing this episode, has 13.7 million subscribers, after law enforcement received a call from someone claiming that Mr. Watkins had a firearm and was going to hurt himself and his family. The ensuing interaction was captured on an officer's body camera.
Oh, wow, that happened in August. Oh, wow.
How you doing? You alright?
How come I hear about this?
Just turn around real quick. I'll explain. You're not in any trouble.
What the heck?
Come to the back.
Yo, bro. Hey.
And he already looked like a menace.
Hey, what's going on?
We're going to talk.
Hey,
I'll tell you why. Good.
Whoa, relax.
Come to the back.
Relax,
Come to the back.
Yo, get my phone, bro. Get my phone. Get my phone. It's right there.
All the views? You live in an apartment, bro?
Let's go live. Press it, bro. Right now, bro. We'll explain. Press public, bro. Press public. Real shit, bro. What is going on right now?
Come on, step over here. We're going to talk with you.
Go live, bro. What did I do? Bro, press it, dude. Press done. What did I didn't do nothing, though.
No, we're going to explain. Can you take a minute, listen? Someone in your name.
Hey, bro, you need to wash your back, bro. Got them bumps back there.
You're going to listen to me? He's trying to explain to you. Yeah, we're going to explain to him.
Bro, I didn't. Yo, bro. Oh my God, bro.
Let's
I
talk
swear
to
I
him away
didn't do
from
nothing, bro. Chill.
Away from this guy.
And we are going to explain.
They doing a terrible job at explaining. Why are you grabbing him like that?
What's going on? That's what that is. Y'all know what swatting is? Yeah, it happened to his boy Aiden last night. Okay, so this is one of those silly things that people. Yeah. Well, and he didn't. You know who he is, right? I don't know who he is. I don't know any of that right now.
I don't care about it.
We don't care. Well, I'm just letting you know that's the situation. Like that.
They look too aggressive, don't you think?
That's what it is. Someone called him in. You can look on what.
No, I believe you. I believe that's.
We've been live for the past 2 hours.
Live doing what? Waiting for this to happen?
No. Breaking a PS4. He plays video games live on stream. Like I said, there's 100,000 people watching.
Okay.
That's what he does.
We're gonna shut that part down for right now.
Dang, why you shutting it down?
We're going to do that while we have a conversation.
Over the protests of Mr. Watkins' friend, the officer turns off the live stream on Mr. Watkins' phone while they discuss the situation. As we have discussed many times on ATA, the Supreme Court has not explicitly held that the First Amendment protects the right to film government officials performing their duties in public.
Bro, what's IShowSpeed
However,
Network?
based
This
on
dude traveled the world, hang out with Sideman, Mr. Beast and all of them.
U.S. courts of
You
appeals
living in
have
that?
recognized a First Amendment
Hope he
right to
upgraded
film
since then.
law enforcement officers while they are carrying out their official
How long
duties
he been
in a public
famous?
place. Notably, the Sixth Circuit, which has jurisdiction over Ohio, is one of the 6 courts of appeals that have not yet acknowledged that film.
I mean, I know these networks ain't
First Amendment.
correct, but they say
However,
he's worth
even in
12 to
jurisdictions
14
that have
million
determined
dollars.
that recording law enforcement officers is protected speech, the issue as to whether the same safeguards apply to live streaming is largely unsettled. In the 2021 case of Sharp versus Winterville Police Department, the United States District Court for the Eastern District of North Carolina, which is part of the
Oh, shout out
Fifth
to
Circuit,
Audit the Audit too, man.
jurisdiction
Look
that
how
does not
detailed this
recognize
is.
the First Amendment right to film the police, held that officers did not violate the First Amendment when they ordered Dejan Sharp, who was a passenger in a vehicle subject to a routine traffic stop, to stop live streaming the encounter. Claiming a safety issue, the officers told Mr. Sharp that he could film the interaction, but he could not simultaneously broadcast it. The court determined that, quote, assuming without deciding that the First Amendment entitled Sharp to record the traffic stop from inside the car during the traffic stop, the First Amendment did not entitle Sharp to live stream the traffic stop from inside the car during the traffic stop. and that, quote, in light of existing precedent and the differences between recording and live streaming from inside the stopped car during the traffic stop, the court rejects Sharp's argument that the First Amendment provided him a right to live stream a traffic stop from inside the stopped car. Mr. Sharp appealed this decision, and in early November 2022, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals heard arguments for the case. However, instead of focusing on the First Amendment implications of this case, it was reported that the judge's questioning seemed to center around whether an officer can prevent an individual from live streaming without violating the Fourth Amendment prohibition on unreasonable seizures. As of the date of writing this episode, this case is still pending, and it will be interesting to see what the Fourth Circuit
difference between recording and live streaming
on what constitutional grounds it bases its decision.
Yo, chat. Spam L in the chat. They're making us turn it off. But we'll keep y'all updated. That's his mom calling him.
Well, his dad's out front.
Yeah, we were talking to his dad out front.
I'm just his cameraman. That's all I am. But he was in Miami. Same thing happened to him last night. There's something going on right now. They're swatting. It's a thing that people do. They find that his address has been leaked.
Well, somebody got killed doing that. Now,
Yeah.
where was that? That was.
That's why he's freaking out, because he knows the risk of it.
Yeah. That's.
So you're saying somebody
Oh, I know. For
called
sure.
us
Yeah, I know for sure.
with some BS.
Yeah, and if you don't believe me, you can. We literally just ended a live stream. He's been streaming for the past 3.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5, 3.5 hours.
Okay.
You can see everything that he's done for the past 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So,
Do me a favor. You can walk out here with us.
yeah.
Leave your phone there.
Well, here, I'll carry it for you so you don't.
Mr. Watkins' friend explains to the officers that Mr. Watkins has been, quote, swatted, and offers to show them footage from Mr. Watkins' live stream from the last few hours.
You think it went that way
Swatting
if he didn't have
fake
his white friend there,
calls
his cameraman?
claiming that a violent crime is about to take place or is already.
You think that was another brother trying to explain that it would have went
provoking
that same way?
Significant police response.
Let me know in the
often
comments.
including The deployment of special weapons and tactics, or SWAT teams, to the home of the individual being swatted. A large portion of the swatting incidents that occur involve individuals such as Mr. Watkins, who engage in online gaming and live streaming. Swatting can typically be prosecuted under Section 2917.32 of the Ohio Revised Code, which makes it a crime to, quote, report to any law enforcement agency an alleged offense or other incident within its concern, knowing that such offense did not occur. However, if the state legislature passes pending legislation House Bill 462, it would create a separate offense that specifically addresses swatting. The proposed text states that, quote, no person by means of a telecommunications device or telecommunications service shall purposely trigger an emergency response when no emergency response is warranted by reporting or causing to be reported false or misleading information to a law enforcement agency, emergency service provider, or public safety answering point. Whoever violates this section
like that's like a
guilty of
huge
swatting.
crime.
Additionally, many swatting incidents can be prosecuted under federal law. For instance, Section 1038 of Title 18 of the United States Code prohibits engaging, quote, in any conduct with intent to convey false or misleading information under circumstances where the information may reasonably be believed or where the information indicates that certain criminal activity has taken place, is taking place, or will take place, including homicide or attempted homicide. Likewise, Section 875 of Title 18 of the United States Code prohibits interstate threats, stating that, quote, whoever transmits into interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any threat to injure the person of another shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years, or both. Without knowing the exact details of where the caller in this situation was located and what they explicitly said, it is challenging to know which particular crimes they could be charged with for swatting Mr. Watkins. Still, it seems likely that
now these days that shouldn't even seem likely not to be able to get the information who swatted him
for the violation of at least one.
It's not like it's payphones. We have payphones anymore.
Someone called a 911 center and said, with your name, that you wanted to hurt your family and hurt yourself. So we came to make sure you're okay.
All right, just listen to me.
Okay.
I am a popular streamer. I am a YouTuber, okay?
Come on.
I have 10... Let me talk.
So guess what?
Okay,
If
hold on,
you're
wait.
good, you may be out of these cuffs, but
Okay.
relax.
Okay.
We're on your side.
All right.
We're here to make sure you're not going to harm yourself. Right?
All right.
Now,
just-
people
all right.
dox people, right?
Oh, yeah. All right,
Okay,
so
so
look,
that's
let me
it.
talk, okay?
on.
I am a popular streamer. I have 10 million subs. You know what a streamer is, right?
Sure, I guess. Okay, so tell us about the streamer. What'd you say?
I
Did you
didn't
say,
do nothing.
were you trying to be funny?
No, I didn't do nothing.
Well, apparently someone called a help center out in Iowa and said, and I want to kill myself, my family.
No,
and
he's
everybody."
lying. It's
Just hear me out.
obviously a lie. It's a lie,
Well,
okay?
we're here to make sure, right?
Oh, yes.
Because of school shootings, right?
Yes,
Be on my side.
yeah.
Work with me. All right, well, let's put you in the car, and then guess what?
All right. This is just a... Y'all... Yeah, like I'm trying to calm down, but it's like it's
overwhelming, right?
Yeah, it's just a streamer slide. It's a streamer slide.
You think they tried to like trick you?
Yeah, this is streamer slide. They called somebody. Somebody called.
I know y'all think drinking my
I know.
house.
Are you exactly?
Why did he put him in the car though?
Exactly. I keep telling you, I'm a famous
We're just trying to figure it out right now.
I mean, it's not really that much to.
It really is not. It really isn't,
I
bro.
keep telling y'all, I can't really explain it to y'all because I'm probably older, but you know, it's just like, you know what Twitch is? Twitch, YouTube?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, you know, I'm famous, you know, and I'm popular, you know.
And they're probably upset, jealous, or something like that.
No, there's just trolls. Like, it's just common trolls.
Well, this was serious.
I know, but it's a call.
That's why we got to do our job.
The officers handcuffed Mr.
I don't know about that one
and
now.
place him in the back of one of the cruisers. Although the line between a
What's his name again, Darius?
suspicion-based Terry stop and a probable cause-based arrest can be confusing, courts have consistently held that in some situations, officers may use restrictive methods such as handcuffing and placing a suspect in a police vehicle during a Terry stop without
Hey, bro, I bet those cops, when they got home and stuff, talked to the kids. You know who IShowSpeed is? Yeah, now you should watch his video. The cop pulls him up and he's twerking. Could you imagine the look on that cop's face when you see that? And he's making all this money?
Bringing him to a full-blown arrest. However, it is uncertain in this situation whether the officers even had the requisite reasonable suspicion required to be able to constitutionally detain Mr. Watkins in any way. As the Supreme Court explained in the 1972 case,
I know 10 million subs and the views that he shouldn't be
quote,
living there. I can tell you that.
Tips, like all other clues, and
I know he's just
evidence
17,
from
but at least buy your
the
mama house so y'all can get up
they
out of
vary
there.
greatly in their value and reliability.
Not a bad neighborhood.
One
You know what I'm saying? I ain't knocking the neighborhood. I'm just saying
cover
he's
every situation. Some tips,
dude's flying to Europe and
completely
stuff, bro.
lacking in indicia of reliability, would either warrant no police response or require further investigation before a forcible stop of a suspect would be authorized. But in some situations, for example, when the victim of a street crime seeks immediate police aid and gives a description of his assailant, or when a credible informant warns of a specific impending crime, the subtleties of the hearsay rules should not thwart.
Bro, I know they got a job to do, right? And I know they got to be precautious because, like, yeah, yeah, swatting. So let me take these handcuffs off, and he turn around and kill his people. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get why they had to do it, but I think that's just a little OD, man. You got to be somewhat, kind of be human a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to be a police officer all the time.
An appropriate police response.
I get it, bro.
Relying in part on this decision, the Supreme Court determined in the 1990 case of Alabama versus White that although an anonymous tip alone
Parker versus State
seldom
law
justifies a Terry
for that
stop,
same
when
reason,
sufficiently corroborated, it can exhibit quote,
they don't really like let people go for that because
reliability
I guess
to furnish reasonable suspicion.
I guess somebody got released. They got released again, you know, harming his girlfriend. So they made it a law where they call it Parker versus State. I don't know. That's what I hear. That's what I heard. Well, I get why they don't like. They take the precautions that they do because of stuff like that.
Suspicion that the suspect was engaged in criminal activity and justify an
I might actually look it up and see what Parker versus State really is. But I think that's pretty much what it is.
Florida versus JL, that an anonymous tip that an individual was carrying a gun was insufficient on its own to justify a police officer's stop and frisk of that person. The court explained that, quote, the tip in the instant case lacked the moderate indicia of reliability present in White and essential to the court's decision in that case. The anonymous call concerning JL provided no predictive information and therefore left the police without means to test the informant's knowledge or credibility. All the police had to go on in this case was the bare report of an unknown, unaccountable informant who neither explained how he knew about the gun nor supplied any basis for believing he had inside information. Given the highly fact-specific level of analysis required for this type of determination and the limited and conflicting details we have about the individual who called 911 and what he said, it is nearly impossible to predict what a court would decide in this situation. However, if the tip was made anonymously and did not include any information besides Mr. Watkins' name and address, it seems likely that a court would conclude that the officers did not have the reasonable suspicion to detain him without additional corroborating evidence.
I've never been in the cup one in my life, man.
I'm sure you don't have anything on you.
Oh, I'm about to kill myself. I'm spraying.
I know. We just got to do our job.
Yeah,
You his mom?
Please, they prank in my house.
Are you his mom?
Yes,
Okay,
they prank our house all the time.
Okay. Well, let us figure it out.
Oh my God,
we were
y'all,
concerned.
this got to stop. No, y'all taking my son over.
No, we're not
people
taking
that keep
him.
pranking my son.
Well,
y'all got him in handcuffs right now.
Well,
Y'all
we're going to
gonna
make
get
sure
down
he
to
doesn't
this.
want to harm
Go
himself.
no, he ain't going to harm himself.
All right,
Go in our house
we'll be
right
there.
now.
Here, I'm on your side. I got 5
Let me
kids.
calm,
Okay, calm down first.
Because you
Then
got
talk
my
to
son in handcuffs for no reason. Right
Well, come talk to us so we can let him out of cuffs.
He's about to go with us.
But because of school shootings, we take it serious.
I understand that he's not about to kill nobody. These is constant pranks. Constant pranks.
Hey, Sarge, this is his mom, and
The police are surrounding my house right now.
I think that's what it is, though. I couldn't really find it.
He's in handcuffs.
But the dude, I guess, was going back and forth, getting bonded out, back and forth, getting bonded out. Then when they revoked his bond,
about you.
Who said that?
he
How do they know? How do they
helpline, they had your address,
He
his
went-
name, his
These
everything.
people was pranking. Y'all gonna have to figure this out. Y'all gonna have to figure
for reconsideration,
I explained
and I guess they gave it to him.
Let's get him.
I guess they gave him the bond with all that stuff he's been into. And I think he ended up killing his girlfriend. I think that's what the story was. So now they got this law called Parkers versus State, when somebody's on out on bond or violate probation, you can't get a bond.
It is unclear whether Mr. Watkins intends to file a complaint or take any legal action against the officers involved. As of the date of this episode, the individual who swatted Mr. Watkins has not been publicly identified. Overall, the Cincinnati officers get a C. Because although they were not overly aggressive in their demeanor, they repeatedly talked over Mr. Watkins instead of listening to him and used unnecessarily restrictive detention methods on Mr. Watkins, even after several individuals had explained that this was an instance of swatting. While I appreciate that the officers did not use physical force or otherwise escalate the situation, there was absolutely no reason to handcuff Mr. Watkins and place him in the back of the police cruiser once they confirmed he did not have a weapon on his person, as Mr. Watkins remained cooperative and non-violent throughout the encounter, and by the time they put him in the cruiser, at least 2 different individuals had confirmed that the call was made by a swatter and there was no legitimate threat. The officers repeatedly demonstrated that they did not understand what swatting was, for instance, by making comments implying that
That's
Mr.
C.
Watkins made the call
That's a pretty good
himself
C.
as a prank. And although I understand that they may not have dealt with this issue before in Cincinnati, Ohio, I would encourage them to educate themselves on the subject, considering how prevalent it has become in the field of modern policing. Mr. Watkins gets an A for maintaining a relatively calm demeanor throughout the encounter, exercising patience while the officers attempted to understand the situation, and expressing his disagreement with the officers' overly
How long y'all think
restrictive
Speed
methods of
has?
detention. While I do not have enough information to make an informed assessment of the Constitution,
Because even the biggest streamers and YouTubers die, right?
They violated Mr. Watkins' rights by detaining him, handcuffing him, and placing him in the police cruiser, potentially without reasonable suspicion. I commend Mr. Watkins for making rational decisions when faced with an unforeseen, frightening situation.
I think the kid's only
Although he could have
17 too,
expressed
man.
a stronger dissent to his restrictive detention, I certainly understand why he chose to simply comply in this situation. Finally, the swatter gets an F for senselessly placing Mr. Watkins and his family in potential danger.
No, man. Come on, man. Come on now. People can actually die from y'all doing this. Now, they probably got to move because they didn't catch the assailant. They got to probably move because of this. You know what I'm saying? They're like, why, bro? Why? That's mind-boggling to me, bro. Like, why must you do stuff like that, bro? It's not cool. It's not funny. And like, you hit him so you don't get no recognition for doing it. Like, hey, yeah, I just got IShowSpeed in handcuffs. I'm like, no, what's the purpose of that? You don't get no recognition for it, and somebody can get killed for it. This man's whole life just changed just like that because he literally had to move now. Especially with this video being out. He definitely got to move now. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. How these people get these people information? I don't know. That's like Jester, bro. You can find Jester's house, you know what I'm saying? Easily. He haven't got swatted. So why IShowSpeed? I don't get it. But anyways, that's the end of the video, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope Audit explained a lot to y'all. Hope I helped a little bit, I guess. I tried. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. This is what T Nasty, man. Holla at your boy. And I'm out.